No break, no jam, no sense. A joro jam, a joro, joro, joro.
I'm not even the type of person to just look down on anyone.
Wait for it.
But nothing irks me more than like fake shoes.
Wow.
I saw some red Yeezys and I was like,
what's wrong with fake shoes, man?
you want to get well. The thing is,
You
my
just said
issue.
that you're not one to look down on someone.
Yeah.
Yet here you are looking down on someone.
I'm not necessarily looking down on them for things that for a lot of people. Some people with bread actually buy fake shoes. You know that, right? The people with bread actually buy fake shoes. I've actually seen it. Like, we're not talking about
Why would they want to buy fake shoes?
Pardon?
Why would they want to buy fake shoes? Is this out of ignorance, or why would someone who can afford the original buy the fake?
Because people, I mean, they always say is like the best way to make money is to try as much as possible not to spend it. So some people could just actually rather buy the fake product to save money
If
on
they
the
have
actual
the-
original.
I still.
I mean, when I
want to
say
know-
bread, I'm not talking about, ridiculous amounts of money. I just mean bread enough to buy said shoes, but they just choose not to because they'd rather spend it on something else.
I still want
But
to
I don't
know
agree with
what's
that.
wrong.
I believe that you're robbing from the designer. Like, I think someone should be compensated for the design for their product rather than get it being stolen from someone else making money off that.
And I went saw my argument with poor people. Not everyone can actually afford to get those shoes.
Okay.
And just because someone can't afford to get it doesn't mean they shouldn't have what they want.
And
So-
also,
and
I think you need to also understand that it's harder to sell your own brand if it's not copied off one that's already famous. And these people need to do that because they need to make ends meet. It's more about the people who are actually supplying these fake, so-called fake shoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, plus there's, intellectual property and everything, so there's almost always a difference.
You think?
It's just not obvious.
No, there's
Yes.
some fakes that you actually have to look deep into everything from the seam down to the sole to see whether they're fake.
Okay, now I would say that most brands that are copied or have knockoffs made are usually the big brands. Like, knockoffs are made of the big brands.
Okay.
You need to understand that these big brands, their pockets are deep enough. Like, even if 1,000 people buy knockoffs, it's going to affect their pockets, but not to the extent that it's going to make them go bust. And also, you also need to understand, I can't say this, because I'm not sure, but there are big brands that use, for example, child labor to produce their stuff. I mean, I won't name them,
That's true.
of course, but, some of these things have been proven.
You have a point.
Children in the coal mines.
Like, you have a point. Nothing you said is incorrect. But like I said, I'm just not the type of person. Like, I'm not.
So you've never bought fake stuff?
Never. At least knowingly, never.
Sorry, you.
Baba, your boys are loyal. No matter the weight of elephant, fit cause earthquake. Joe Giriosa, fire the bomb wall, run. Ojaboko for Mona bouncing. We do your side, Baba.
Continue your argument.
See, but what I was going to say is, like, my argument isn't necessarily for, less privileged people, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm talking about people that have the ability to get these things, but just choose to get the fake product. It's
What do you mean
basically
have the ability?
I
I'm
think-
talking about uni students that are trying to buy £500 Gucci wears or £600. What are you talking about?
Okay, but this is even my thing then. In that regard then, let's say we're talking about a uni student buying fake clothes or whatever.
yeah.
It's like, why do you even have, and this is even going to go deeper into fashion or whatever, like, why did you even decide, like, you have to get, because you shouldn't be spending money on that at that point, so you decide to get a cheaper fake version of it. So then why do you have to, above everything, even if it means stealing and lying, have to, buy that fake product to kind of make it look like you have it, like you do?
No
but you
way,
don't?
hold on. No one called in stealing that line.
No, but it is stealing. Like, it is necessarily
Well, technically,
stealing.
yeah, but
It is stealing.
It's not their
Buying
fault.
fake stuff is
It's
stealing.
our fault. It would be easy for me to sit here and tell someone that you shouldn't have this inferiority complex. You should live within your means. But that would be kind of ignorant because society expects people to flex, people to be successful from as early as 20, 21. And this is a problem that most men
But
face.
okay, that's society's expectations. How many
Yeah.
years have we spent trying to eradicate the fact that society's expectations really shouldn't mean shit?
But I'm saying that, yeah, but we are still the ones that perpetuate this because at the end of the day, we are society.
Very true.
So it's practically like I'd sit here and tell you it's the same people who are saying we shouldn't do this that turn around and do it.
Very true. I get your point, but at the same time, look at my thing, yeah. There are other clothes aside. That's another argument I have. There are other clothes apart from these designer or fake designer stuff. Like you could wear regular clothes. Like nobody. I mean, even if people clown you for that, they're just shallow with it, and you can tell where they are as people. Like they're just not people you should be around anyways. If oh my god, you're not wearing designer, or you're. I don't know. It's like it shouldn't matter at the end of the day.
Do you think it's different if they clown you for not wearing designer, or if they clown you for wearing fake designer?
This is my thing. I'd rather be clowned for not wearing designer than be clowned for wearing fake designer.
Yeah.
Because wearing fake designer is like I've tried to perpetuate this image that I have it, as in the ability to get this type of clothes, but I don't. So basically, I'm lying and I'm stealing from the original owner of said brand.
We all try to pose, ourselves bigger than what we actually are.
We all do. That's why
Everyone does
we all do. That's why Instagram exists.
I mean, that's why all social media, most of this should be their platforms. That
it shouldn't be like that.
That's why I love Twitter so much. Twitter is so raw.
No,
The
man.
most
No.
So people still go on there and lie about image and stuff like that.
I don't think Twitter should be glorified for doing stuff like that.
Okay, explain.
It's easy for you, like I said before, it's easy for you to sit there and like judge people for doing this. But just put yourself in someone's shoes,
Okay.
being clowned, they're not wearing Gucci shoes or something like that. I mean, I don't know how to articulate this properly, but the fault is with us, is with society, never with the person.
What?
The fault is never with the person. Okay, maybe not never, but I'd say the fault shouldn't be on the person. It should be on society to stop making people feel like they have to do things like this.
Absolutely.
But that's what sells.
What?
This is a business. They have to do that in order to sell their brand.
So
Fair enough.
So you get me?
So if they do that, then they should
Gucci
be...
has to advertise themselves as the best.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about normal people like you and me going up to someone and saying, "Oh, you have no drip because you're not wearing any design."
Yeah, but that's as a result of Gucci saying that they're the best, and everyone wants to get the best.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean,
fair enough.
I get your point, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, maybe it's just because of how I've grown up and I'm the type of guy that used to think so deeply about not wearing designer and stuff like that. But really and truly, who cares?
People care. Man.
People care. I'm not like taking it away from people. People care, but I'm saying, why should you?
But see, that's the thing, yeah. Like, this is a lot deeper than just designer. It has to do with personal confidence and being able to do your own thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like, I'm wearing a Puma hoodie right now. If someone came up to me and laughed at me and I'm not wearing a Gucci bulletproof vest or something, I swear to God, it wouldn't affect me. But I need to understand
Facts. It
that
shouldn't.
not everyone has had the same upbringing as I have. Not everyone is like you. People have insecurities. People have things like this. Man, I don't know, man. I think it's kind of unfair to expect people to be able to, like putting the onus on people to stop doing things like it needs to be us.
As society.
Yes,
You're
as a
absolutely
society.
right.
You know what it feels like to have like, especially if you're kind of famous or like you're a rapper and your income depends on how you look and everything.
Yeah.
To have thousands of people calling you out because you're not wearing.
Oh,
you don't have a $500,000 chain or something like that.
I absolutely get your point, and it happened. Like a lot of rappers, like the reason why, like there's a phrase that goes on in the rap community is like, as a rapper and entertainer, like men are supposed to try and be you, and girls are supposed to try and get with you. That's the image. So obviously you're supposed to be dripped out, chain, the price of tuition. I hate the fact that that's the truth, but it's reality at the end of the day.
I don't mean
Some rappers don't care, but go on.
I don't mean to go into philosophy, but that's all meaningless, man.
That's what I'm saying. It's all meaningless.
But that's what
Because at the end of the
easy
day,
to say.
all of us could die.
That's a
It
topic
doesn't
for
matter.
another-
Fact.
No,
We're
it's
all
not about-
going to
it's
die.
not about topic because you have to get into it. The whole reason of people trying to drip down is they're trying to impress other people, but
Yeah.
all of us could die. The people where you try to impress, they
We're all
could
gonna
die.
die one day.
But imagine if
What?
you're-
Last thing, you're probably gonna bury you in your drip. What then?
But don't you think it's understandable when how people perceive you affects how much you earn?
I mean, yes. To be fair, there's a reason why you go into
How
an
much you
interview
earn.
with a good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why you go into a business interview or anything of the sort with a tailored suit on. You're supposed to give up this, you're supposed to give up the perception that you're this guy, you're established, you're well dressed, blah 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 blah. You're not going to an interview at least for good organization in a trackie. You get me?
Yeah.
It's all about image.
I think
I don't give a fuck
Wait,
about
hold on,
image,
hold
but
on. I think that's generalization because in Silicon Valley, especially the tech companies, they
Yeah,
don't really
I was
care.
about to say
They
that.
don't really care if you're dressed up in the
yeah,
suit.
but those are anomalies. Let's be honest. Like places
Those
like
are
Google,
not
like I
anomalies.
understand, like places like Google,
No,
for example, like they
those
don't
are
care.
anomalies.
Well, like, understand
Anymore
what
in
he's
the
saying. Like,
21st
I'm
century.
studying law.
Yeah.
If I go for an interview in a law firm, I'm not showing up in a tracksuit.
Exactly, that's my point. Like
I
obviously
think
there's
that's for your industry.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
it
to be
varies from
Yeah, there's certain industries, like for example, like if you're a football player, you're not turning up to practice in a suit. Like
Yeah.
it just depends
That's
on
what
what
I'm
you
saying,
want.
yeah.
we have to draw a distinction here because that is understandable.
Also, though, even at that though, even back in the day, I remember like the ballers had the best boots. I don't know if you remember that, but growing up, I saw that a lot. The worst ballers had the best boots because everyone's trying to think about drip. The real people, the people that last, the real ballers don't care what they wear for the most part.
I
They
think
don't
that's
care.
perspective.
I think that's cap. Because
you think
I think that's perspective.
Ronaldo won is in boots and
No, he means like normal people, no?
No, I'm not talking about. Come on.
Yeah, but that's also cap.
Look,
that's also cap.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's perspective, man.
Yeah.
That's one normal thing. But I think we should draw a distinction because we gave an example of an office setting. That is very understandable for a business to want you to dress appropriately. What I'm talking about is in normal, everyday to-day life.
Yeah.
Like you're going for a party and you're dressed decently, but people think, oh, you're wearing Nikes instead
You're
of a
not
Gucci
dressed,
shoe or, something like that.
I try to tell you what all that stuff that doesn't matter. I'm not even trying to tell you what I'm talking about me, fam. I've gone into a motive wearing Supreme and all that other stuff, knowing full well there was like £4 in my bank account. So what? There was like £4 in my bank account. So then everyone's looking at me. It's like, oh my god, you're dripped. I'm trying to be like you. You don't want to be like me, fam. I'm broke.
Just imagine, like, you would spend all that trying to impress people, and then you go home, go so gary after. for
You're
like 2
eating
months.
noodles. You're sucking. Like, what are you doing? Oh, for what? So people can say, and then what
it's-
then?
I don't know why, but even as human beings, we have this insatiable appetite to impress people. I don't know why, man. Just live
Your
within
life.
needs, bro. It's easy to say. I know it's more difficult to do, but come on, man. Like, the only people I'm trying to impress are my employers. Personally, man, I couldn't care less, man. Go outside in slippers or Bro.
Who cares? I'm not. At least I can honestly admit that I used to be that guy that just cared about designer. Like I wouldn't want to. Like I would get so mad at someone that would wear, for example, let's say a Nike top or hoodie and then Adidas track pants. Like I was the type of guy that used to boil when I saw that. But then now, just obviously time and learn, you really realize that all this shit really means nothing.
The thing is, people are always gonna care because big brands are always gonna exist. It's the same way, and I don't mean to judge you. It's the same way you clown Ifeanyi for using an Android and using an iPhone, and you do this while still speaking, while still here saying that why do people care? But you do this subconsciously.
You obviously
Yeah,
do these things subconsciously. I understand
Yeah.
because things like even with me, I clown Android, and all that. But then I'm sure you've heard me admit it that I understand that to a certain extent, like some Samsung phones are better. I'm sure you've heard me
I'm
admit
not
this.
gonna lie you, but I don't think I've ever heard that come out.
Come on, I've said certain things are
I will
better.
not lie to you.
Bro, I have no, I said it.
But the closest you've ever come was 2 days ago when we were taking pictures and
And
we're
the
like,
camera.
oh yeah, Samsung camera is actually good. Yeah, that's the closest you've ever come to say.
Let's not get
I won't cap.
Let's not get into Snapchat. But
This is
anyways,
capping
back to
here.
business.
Capping here.
Anyways, back to business. Like at the end of the day, it's all. In fact, even going back to that, there's a reason why most people buy an iPhone. Some people, not all people are tech heads. Some people don't really know. Yeah. Some people don't really know why to get it. Because me, I personally do research before I actually buy a phone. But then I know I'm more inclined to sway towards Apple because that's the in thing. That's the popular thing, you know.
Yeah.
It's all image that people care about.
Fair enough, but there's a difference between buying something for yourself because you think you know, like you want the best.
You know,
and you
I
can afford it.
actually think that in the Apple and Android debate, I actually think that Apple is actually the better phone.
Okay.
Like,
Why do you say so?
because I've used both.
Oh, bro, see.
I've also used both to be fair.
See.
And I think that Apple just has a more. You just have this thing.
See,
man.
bro, that
You
sounds
just
that
have this
sounds
thing.
like preference.
Yeah, it is preference.
It is preference.
It
Well,
is
you can't say
preference.
if something is better if you're basing it on preference.
It's better for me. I prefer it.
No, that's what you
literally
say.
nothing your Android can do that my iPhone can do.
And there's nothing
I
your
just
iPhone
like it.
can do that
I
my
just
Android
like to
can do.
be my
FaceTime.
iPhone.
We
FaceTime.
do have video calls. You just don't know that because you don't use the phone.
Nobody said you don't have video calls. I would hope you have video calls.
Let me let me say something. Look, they're doing this, man. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
Now, they're two big ass companies. I promise you, they release phones side by side. No company would ever let their specs not match up to the other one. It's not possible. It just comes down to marketing at the end of the day.
And you also have to remember that a
That's
lot of
not
Apple,
true.
a lot of
That's
Apple,
generalization.
a lot of Apple phones actually use Samsung technology, low-key.
I was about to say that.
Low
This is
key.
devolving into a Samsung versus
But then,
Apple thing.
yeah,
Look. There's a difference in buying something because you think it's better and clowning someone else for not buying the exact same thing
I
once.
see.
Yeah, 100%.
My problem is with the latter, not the former. Like if you can afford it, even if you can't afford it and you think that's what you want, then big up you, man. But to go out of your way to go and clown someone else because they're not using an Android or because they're driving a Honda.
Do you think people will ever, you know how, like, human beings before didn't accept homosexual people, human beings before didn't accept that women had rights. Do you think humans will ever grow out of this inferiority complex whereby the bigger brands define who they are in society?
I think it's coming. I think it's gonna happen one day. I think it's coming.
I can't speak about the future because that's a speculation, but these brands, this is how they survive.
This is how
They
they survive. That's what I'm
prey
saying.
on your
Yeah.
insecurities.
Thank
So
you.
it's like a
Yeah.
cycle. So
Yeah.
how do you break
How do you
that
break that
cycle?
cycle?
There's
That's
even
the
something
thing.
you said about Gucci advertise. I wanted to point something out. Gucci don't advertise shit. They actually, like, how many times can you recall like an actual Gucci ad? What Gucci does, like, they're so far ahead in the, in the ladder of designer clothes and whatever, like, they just let people do it for them. Like, if influential people and that wear their shit, like from rappers dripping out to even people like Hush Puppy,
Yeah.
they're doing the advertising. They're doing the advertising for them. Like, they're just looking at it as
I
like,
think
shit,
that guy
impressed.
I think that guy's another victim of this whole.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Imagine you've scammed so many people
You have
and
so
you're
much
still
money.
you have so much
800
money
million.
and you still feel the need to flaunt it. It just shows how he's so under control of the system.
Yeah.
The system has so much control over him.
Well, I think
You know what I mean?
that's what fuels him, man.
That's what fuels him.
People
Yeah.
envy.
Not just him, like people just want that. Like, let's even be honest, even for the little things, everybody loves like a little bit of appreciation. Like, you love it when you have a banger tweet or people are in your Instagram commenting on a crazy picture you took. Like, human beings are just like that. You just love
Not really.
that. A lot.
I've actually
You don't think
noticed-
so?
Actually, no, I mean a lot of people, but not everyone. I feel like there are people out that actually don't care.
Yeah.
And it's the people, there's the people who don't care the most that then they're the ones who like find themselves in such situations.
It depends on what you care about.
Yeah.
That's also very
For
true.
example, Mark
Yeah.
Zuckerberg has all the money in the world. I've only ever seen him in a shirt,
No,
just
stop,
simple.
Bro,
stop that.
By the
No,
way,
man.
I just want to let you know that that gray shirt is actually $500. So don't do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't do
Actually,
that.
my gray shirt is $500.
I'm not trying to
Those
say
billionaires
that. I'm not
spend.
trying to say billionaires don't spend.
Yeah.
I'm saying he doesn't go. He isn't outrageous with what he's dressing.
Yeah,
like.
just-
You'd be
Yeah.
surprised how expensive that shit is going.
Bro, I'm not
As
saying
plain
it's
as
not. That's
it
not what I'm
looks.
saying. If you see those shirts, you wouldn't know it's expensive. That's my
I
point.
see, but the fact is, it is.
No, I think think you will if you know the brand.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he just said how much it is.
Are
There
they
are people
branded?
who would know.
They are
No, the
branded,
people
but
who
they're just
know,
very
like,
subtly branded.
The average person like you and me,
Fair.
you know. I'm not saying, because I know people say that a lot, that, you know, billionaires, look how money they just
yeah.
I know they spend like an obscene amount of money.
I think they don't just spend on what everyone else spends on.
Yeah.
For example, Bill
Exactly.
Gates has a crazy collection of cars.
Yeah.
But it's incredible. But he doesn't spend money on chains like a chain.
Yeah.
Depreciable assets.
Yeah, you get what I mean? So,
Yeah, fair enough, man.
yeah.
But back to the hush puppy thing, it just shows you like you're doing fraud. You know,
I want
something
fraud
that if there was any job that requires being discreet, it's
that
this.
The man
Yeah,
just
He's flaunting
needed.
it.
Do you know something?
He just
If
needed
I-
to follow his
If I was
name.
the one that had that money and I'm frauding people, you won't hear from me.
Again.
You can't hear from me. I'm gone.
That guy
I'm gone.
defrauded
Just move to
people.
some island. Done out.
He defrauded people of 105 billion naira,
$800 million.
$800 million, and he was flaunting it.
You tried.
Like you said, my guy.
You tried.
I know
It's
gonna
not
lie
easy.
you, man. See my brothers here. They will just see 2 million in their account. They won't know where I am. I will just die.
And as that 2 million enter my account, nobody go hear from me. You think I'm dying.
His talks here don't be able to keep up for back. And on that bed.
Under bed.
He could have rinsed that money so many different ways. He,
Yeah.
like, all he needed to do was just follow his name and literally just hush about the shit. How do you make $800 million you're following your
And you see
Insta?
how the Nigerians were almost feeling sorry for him.
Yeah.
Yo.
You get what I mean? Like,
Bro, this is-
That's another issue.
that's another issue, man.
That's another
And-
issue because you can be. I don't want to go into that other situation and speak about it like off camera, but then as long as you're rich, famous in some sense, that you can get away with anything you want because most Nigerians, not all, I don't even want to say most, but
The bands
some
now.
that's
bands.
exactly what I was going
It's
to
just
say.
sad.
That's exactly what I was going to say. As long as you have some wealth or power of any form, you can get away with whatever
But
you want.
It's not just in Nigeria, though. Let's not
Yeah,
cap.
yeah,
It
let's
happens
not-
Yeah, it's not in
everywhere
Nigeria.
else.
It's not just in Nigeria, but then this is just the reality of
Yeah.
The
certain
elites,
things. Like
man.
It's
the
like the
elites would
elites,
get
yeah.
away with shit no matter what they
Get
do.
away with anything. But I think Nigeria's own is kind of special because everywhere else they kind of know they're bastards. But in Nigeria, it's like we
And
worship-
criminals don't get love though. That's
It's like-
another thing. Criminals
yeah,
don't get
yeah,
love like
criminals
that.
don't get love.
Like what?
Yeah.
It's like we
They don't
worship
get love.
Yeah.
people like this.
Yeah.
You know, it happened a month ago where they were releasing their cars, like the cars they had, the Bugattis,
Yeah.
and people were hailing them, bro. This is your tax money buying these cars, man.
Real.
Like I don't know, man. I think it's
Like,
it's
for
a
real,
Nigerian.
like,
dream.
I don't understand how you can praise Hush Puppy knowing full well that that is someone's money that they worked for.
Oh, yeah.
That he's fronting on.
Ambassador, could it chop?
Word to burner.
I'm governor.
But
could it
it's
chop?
just it's a shit situation at the end of the day because he could have, like, this is not me defending scamming or anything, but then he could have lived a great life in silence with that money that he did steal. But then
Fine. What you trying to say?
No, let me finish.
then he decided, like, because of, you know, the acclaim that comes with having the nice cars and nice clothes and all that, he wanted that so much he blinded him to the reality that he's advertising himself to the police.
The thing is, yeah, I agree with you, but I'd like to say something. Look, of all the things that piss me off in this world, like people who defend fraudsters and criminals piss me off the most because
Absolutely.
I don't think people
Murderers too, you know.
I don't think people understand what fraud is. I worked, I'm name where I worked, but I was doing an internship somewhere 2 years ago, and I went to an ADR meeting. This woman was defrauded of everything she ever worked for. She had a savings account, and she was a modest businesswoman, so she wasn't rich, but she was making enough to get by, and she had about like 1.5 M saved up in her account, bro. Her savings account, they siphoned everything. Like she didn't have mobile banking, so what we pieced together is someone probably took her SIM, set it up for her, and then transferred all her money in the space of 3-4 days. And this woman, bro, I've never seen someone break down that way before, right in front of my eyes. Like she didn't know whether to
Like,
be
what do you
angry or
expect?
crying.
Imagine working so hard for everything and it's all gone.
and people will go online and defend these people talking about reparations for slavery, bro. That ain't make no sense, man.
Fam,
That
I
does
remember
not
seeing
make
one
any
video.
sense.
I remember one video. This was like 2 years ago. This scammer here. Then he obviously scammed this one guy from here. Old man. Like, apparently it was his pension he took, like his retirement fund and all that. The guy is literally crying on camera, like, please return my money, like that was for my grandkids, that's for how I was gonna live my life. And the guy is literally recording my man crying. And he's enjoying himself, he's enjoying his life. These are the type of people that you guys are standing.
Oh, I remember that. But it was
Bro,
a white man now.
It was a white man, yeah. No, don't do it.
No.
No, don't do it. Don't. I know exactly what you're gonna say. Don't do it.
Black Lives
Evil-
Matter. Black Lives Matter.
Evil is evil, man.
Evil is evil,
I
bro.
mean, the mere fact that we have to convince people not to be on the side of fraudsters.
It's
The
insane.
mere fact that we have to convince people, like, just think about that. We are convincing you not to support criminals.
Nigerians love a good criminal.
Bro, I
Has
don't know.
money and Rolls Royce and.
But yeah, but he has a Rolls Royce, so it's calm, you know. They're stealing your money. We had #1 trillion in surplus. We don't know where it is. No one knows where it went to. But hey, as long as they got Rolls Royces.
Oh, I even feel like even recalling all the stories of lost money I've heard from Nigerian government. Remember the snake? How much money did this snake swallow? Was it what, 700M or something stupid like that?
Bro, look at my face. With all the big education we have, they told us that a snake swallowed hundreds of millions of naira. That's the excuse they gave us. When white people in America and the UK want to steal money, they come up with complicated ways to steal the money. Ways that if you do not have resources and connections, you would never know they stole it. But in our country, they just say, bro, take that thing.
Didn't
Tell
they say
them to
monkey
get it.
ran away?
After-
Yeah, that's another one. That's another one. They said monkey ran
2 weeks
away.
later, they said monkey ran away.
So they are keeping the country's money in cash.
In the zoo.
There is a guy who built a house just to keep money.
Yeah.
You say a guy.
Not
Man
them
said
guys.
a guy.
Or the entire
People.
squad. The entire squad.
Man said a.
Desiani Alison Madwike. I can call her name because what I'm saying is true.
Yeah.
She stole billions. Not only is she not in
3.4,
Bro,
if I'm not
some
mistaken.
people have put it up to $20 billion. Not only is she not in prison, she's holding a public office in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
Do you guys recall any time in your life whereby, you know, like, I keep saying whereby, like, you're no more Yoruba man. But, like, a time in your life where you wanted those objects that, you know, made you feel
Yeah.
better than anyone else. But then, how'd you get out of that?
Of course.
How'd you get out of that?
In fact, you want to go first?
Wait, what do you mean? Like,
You know, like,
you want
you
to
know how,
impress people?
yeah, and you know how everyone's, well, people have been through that, and some people have managed to get out.
Yeah.
You know how you got out. You know what I mean?
Of that
Just think of
mindset.
me as your loyal therapy.
Of that mindset.
You're gonna
Yeah.
You're gonna talk about yours too.
No,
Mr.
100%. No, 100%.
Well, bro, I don't even know how to explain it, man. I think it was Mark Manson.
What
Yeah.
else, Mark Manson?
Yeah, I think it was Mark Manson.
You guys
because
really need to pick up his work.
he taught us that,
He's an incredible writer.
bro. The way he puts it, you know, why are you trying to impress people? Now, I'm not going to sit down here and tell you that I don't want the Rolls Royces. That's my dream car. I'm not going to tell you that I don't want money.
No.
But, you know, I don't know how to put it. Wanting it just to flex for people, I don't know, man.
So why do you want a Rolls Royce and not another?
I want to be I want to be more than comfortable.
Yeah, but why?
Why do I want a Rolls Royce? Okay, I'll tell you. Now, a Rolls Royce to me is what I've promised to gift myself if I achieve the things I want to achieve.
Oh, okay.
Because for me, I need things to look forward to,
Go.
to push
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
That's why I want the Rolls Royce, you know. It's not because, oh, look, he has a Rolls Royce. Obviously, that's going to be part of it. You can't separate them. People are going to say, oh, look, he has a Rolls Royce, he has money, I want to be like that guy, you know. But that's not the main reason, you know. I want to be able to, because even my dad was telling me, because my dad grew up in poverty and everything, and he tells me how sometimes he just sits, look at everything I've achieved, look at my house, look at my cars, you know, look at where I am right now. That's the kind of mindset I have
I feel
towards
you.
that, man.
Okay, I think with me, yeah, like the whole I used to be the kid that never cared about, like, you know, the trendy fashion. I remember growing up like that. I even used to get corn from my brothers To the point, I remember this is probably the time it clicked where I probably started over caring about fashion. So then it was this is as far back as elementary school. This is like 6th grade. So, you know, I just come in my regular clothes. It was the last day of school, cool. Then my big brother came to come pick me up. And then some guy just came up to me and was like, oh my God, Ohiz, why don't you just, like your brother, he has the skinny jeans. Because you know skinny jeans were a thing back then, especially the colored ones. Like, oh my God, look at him, he's got the skinny jeans. He has the wristbands. I'm never going to get into that, blah, 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 blah. Like, why can't you dress like him? So then I obviously went home. I'm a kid. I obviously went home feeling very bad. I was like, damn.
Why didn't you
Should
have
I
skinny
switch up?
jeans? Everyone has. Why didn't you?
Because I didn't care. That's my point. I couldn't care less.
so-
And I was a fat kid, to be fair. Let me even run that in. I was like, that was
Yeah,
a
he
fat-
was chubby.
Oh my God.
Even me, I was chubby too.
Oh, I was a fat kid. Let's just even put that in there. But then, genuinely, I didn't care. Even when we'd always go shopping and stuff like that, I just told my mom, I was like, all right, just give me anything. Because really, I didn't care. But then it was after that moment that I was like, oh my God, I have to step
Yeah,
up.
I have to get these.
And then yes, and now it's whether it's the snapback era, the chino era, whatever it is.
Aeropostale.
Oh my God, Hollister.
Hollister, yeah.
From then I was just like, I'm
Toms.
on it. But then when I actually started, grasping the concept of money and how it's just not always there, because at the end of the day, yes, my parents obviously.
Okay, so let me get this right.
Okay,
So,
okay.
you're not your therapist today. It's not that you left the lifestyle because you wanted to, it's because you couldn't afford it.
Spare change, ma'am.
No, that's not it.
He's 20 or 21 years old. There's no shame. There's no shame in admitting it if that's the case. There's no shame.
It's not the whole way.
Fam.
Carry on, come on.
I'm fine. But at the end of the day, I just understand that there's more important things.
Fair,
You know,
yeah.
it's just like there's more important things, and I understand that all this stuff is temporary. Like I said, the Mark Manson book helped me realize that.
Yeah.
Like, all this stuff is temporary. All this stuff is depreciable assets, because the worst thing for me is when I'm broke and then I'm going through my closet and I'm just like, bro, I remember I spent this much on this,
Oh, that's
this much on
something.
this,
Yeah.
this much on this. When you're rinsing noodles for the day,
Yeah.
nothing hits harder than that. Once that really starts hitting, that's when you're just like, man, I need to fix up.
I think that happened to me first year.
To be fair, yeah. For me, it's not about all these depreciable assets. Or like, I couldn't
I
care
think that
less.
way. I can't lie to you.
I couldn't care less. For me, it's not that. Mine is if I look at my bank account and I want a £200 bag and I have £10,000 in my bank account, I will buy it because
Okay.
there's enough money for
Yeah.
that. Yeah. But to go out and I have £1,000 because it as a student, the amount you have fluctuates whether people will tell you or not.
100%.
I wouldn't have £1,000, or let me say something that would cost me 80% of the amount of money I have in my bank account, and I just go
Yeah.
blow it. So it just depends on what I have. Like I wouldn't tell you I like buying the fine things in life, but there needs to be a balance.
Yes, to be a balance.
Like a lot of people
I
go
think-
from one extreme to the other.
I think for me, I've never really been about clothes. I think I'm really. Okay. I think.
He's wearing a silk durag.
Let's
Let's just put that in
Let's
there.
sink
But
in.
I've never really been one to buy expensive stuff as long as I look okay, which
Yeah, fair.
every now and then I hack, but I feel like I spend more of my money. My issue is music. I can spend as much money on music, the quality of music. That's
Make
what
your
my
listening
issue is.
experience.
Yeah,
Okay.
to make my listening experience so good. It's not really been about the clothes. And another problem is food. I
Yeah,
love to
man,
eat.
bro. I know they joke with
Mo
food.
Actually
fẹ́ràn
don't
oúnjẹ
understand.
gan. Mo fẹ́ràn oúnjẹ gan,
I know they
man.
joke with
I don't
food.
understand why you're not fatter than your tree.
Yeah,
I don't get
well, I
it.
eat like a pig. Man. like a
Man
cow.
ordered cereal. Who ordered cereal, man? Who
Try
ordered
times.
cereal?
Try times.
It's not trying times. It has nothing to do with trying times.
Man ordered cereal, man.
Yeah,
Like, even
man.
when you brought it up to me, I'm like, what is going? Like, has
Yeah,
anyone
like-
ever ordered cereal before?
Yeah.
Fuck
Nah,
you
I
know.
eat a lot, man.
Bro, he said it so casually too. Like,
That's
he's on
why
his
I'm-
phone. Like,
it's
what are
like-
you doing? I'm ordering food at 9 a.m. Like, just go take breakfast. Now I'm ordering Cocoa Pops, man. I'm like, oh, why you ordering cereal, man? Please, I will walk you to a Tesco. Let's go to a Tesco.
Man,
Yeah,
if you
man,
announced
so
you were
it's
doing
like-
that today, you would have run down Mumucho today. But it is what it is.
Nah, come on, man.
Yeah.
That's what it is. life, though.
Man, I just wish people would be more confident, Like I saw a video on Twitter of this guy who was wearing, I think it was Air Force Ones or something.
Yeah.
And like everyone in the motive started clowning him, who started laughing at him for so long. I don't know why. Like, do you know what that can do to someone's confidence? For nothing.
Fam, like I said, it happened to me, literally. I went from the kid not caring to, like, it happens. That's why I said it might not be all people, like you said, but a lot of people actually care about the acclaim.
Yeah.
They care so much, they put it above so many other things in their life. People will starve to get the public acclaim.
Yeah, man. True.
100%.
And I think if you get locked into that, like trying to pander to society, trying to live up to society standards, I think you're fucked, man.
Yeah,
Because
you never,
Because
I
you
don't
will
think you can
never
do
meet
it,
it.
you never truly
No
live
matter
your life
what
if
you
you keep
do.
thinking about how others view your life.
and you would never satisfy them.
Yeah,
man.
you never
No matter
satisfy people.
what you
man.
do, you're
Like,
never going to satisfy them.
My dad told me that if you do something spectacular today, like teleporting from here to Lagos, they'd say it's because you don't have money to buy a car. They always look for a
I always
reason.
find a reason to climb.
There was
Always
fun, but
find
like
a
even if you
reason.
create teleporting, it's like, okay, then why can't you figure out time travel? It's always something.
But that doesn't mean you should just be doing anyhow. You should not
Oh
bath.
no.
That
Obviously, you have
This
to
is
have
your
it.
bath.
I don't know how you took it there.
No, I'm just telling them like that doesn't mean you shouldn't bath or you shouldn't brush your teeth. Or,
You
because
should
don't-
carry yourself with some rapport, but
Yeah.
then don't live above your means. You get me?
Yeah.
Just allow people. Just mind your business.
That's another
Just
thing.
mind
People
your
really
business,
just need to
yeah.
mind their
Yeah, people
business.
just need to mind their
Because as
business.
much as you shouldn't care about what other people think, other people just
Just mind
fuck
your
off.
business.
Like, just do your thing and let everyone else keep it
If
pushing.
everybody's minding their business, I think the world would be a much better place.
Bro, designer brands die off.
To be honest, man, I think this
Straight.
is a bit of a contradiction to what we've been saying. But
You
I don't
think?
think people really care. You watching this, I don't think people really care about you, man, because people have their own problems.
How you
of
say
course-
that to an audience?
Like, no, like even me, man, even you, even you guys watching this, you Ohiz, Okiki, me, nobody gives a shit about us, man. I know people can clown you.
The views of my fellow podcasters are not mine.
No, listen. I'm not saying that there's no love in your life or anything. I mean, like, trying to impress people. Sure, people can clown you, but that won't last long. 5 minutes tops, and then they go back to dealing with their own issues because everyone has.
Yeah, but
problems
some
of their
people
own
don't
lives.
get that though. Some people sleep with that. Like, yes, they might clown you for even if it's a minute. I was like, oh my god, look at this AF. So whatever it is, because I can't even lie. I've clowned friends.
Or you're sitting
For
atop,
shoes, not gonna lie.
or you're sitting up at night thinking, oh, what am I gonna wear today to impress Tommy? Or does he care? Or Tommy will see you, he'd say, oh yeah, bro, you dripped out, cool. 12 seconds.
That's the way you all
And
end up
then-
in the grave, man.
Literally,
Well,
we're
that's true,
all
though. No,
going 6 feet.
The thing is, people don't like hearing that, but we need
Yeah.
to hear that at least every day. You're gonna end up in the grave, so stop.
But the
stop
thing is,
stressing
if you
it,
take
man.
that to the extreme, you just end up sleepwalking through
Yeah,
life.
obviously,
So,
yeah. There has to be a
There has to be a
balance.
balance at the end of the day. Like, you're not trying. Like, we all know we're gonna die. That doesn't mean you should accelerate it.
We all don't know. I don't think some people live their lives thinking they're gonna die. I think they live their lives thinking it's gonna last forever. Because if you do think you're gonna die, you're gonna think a bit different.
I agree and disagree
You know what I
with
mean?
you. Like, some people, I won't say that people live thinking they're gonna live forever. I just think people live just thinking about the now.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily thinking
And I
long
think
term.
the now is more impactful. Because at the
You
end of the for
think?
example, think about something. Like you're living in the now, so I think it's more impactful.
No, it's not.
Like think about something negative happens in your life. Okay, you have that mindset that everyone's going to die at the end of the day, but that thing is still going to affect you.
It's still gonna affect you. No, I'm not saying it's not gonna affect you. I'm just saying in the whole scheme of things.
In the
grand scheme
but
of things,
sometimes-
it doesn't
Nothing matters.
That's what I'm saying. It's easier to be nearsighted than long-sighted. Because it's
True.
happening
Sorry,
now.
sorry,
If you
that's
understand
down.
what I mean. Like,
What?
No, I agree
no,
with
like
you.
Did
if
you break that down? Sorry.
okay, so if you suffer from heartbreak or something,
Yeah.
and you know, oh, I'm still gonna find someone else. In the now, it's not gonna feel like that. You're still going to feel every bit of
Yeah,
it, if you understand what I
obviously,
mean.
yeah.
So I think it's kind of difficult.
But the way to get past that is to remember that it's gone.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, but I don't think you should necessarily just live like, because say right now you invest in a company that you predict its returns are going to be, great, you think you're going to make a profit, and the company goes bust, for example.
yeah.
So you obviously thought long term, but then maybe you didn't do enough research in the now, So then eventually the company went bust, and then now
or you
you're
say
in this situation.
we're all gonna die, so I might as well just put everything I've ever worked for into this one thing without
No, there has to be balance,
you'd
right?
Yeah, that's what we're saying. That you just have to balance it in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to take risks. We have to take calculated risks.
Completely.
Can we talk about how everyone? I know this is unrelated to the topic.
Let's go.
But when you go on Twitter and someone, let's say I get a Rolls Royce to
Mhm.
congratulate myself for achieving what I want to achieve, and then someone else quotes it with like, could have bought stocks or something like that, or you could have bought shares. Or, dinner with Jay-Z on Twitter.
Oh, you beat me to it.
They said,
I
no, bro.
mean, stocks.
They told they told these people, like, they told people 50M on dinner with Jay-Z. And people were picking dinner with Jay-Z because I don't know. Did
It says that I want to
sound
pick his
smarter?
brain. I want to pick
Like,
his
I
brain.
think
Is it
it's
just
duper
to sound
yourself. It's duper. They're not thinking about.
No, the worst one I saw is £75,000 straight in cash or good credit, and people chose good credit.
Bro,
Bro.
run me my money, please.
Fam,
No, wait,
I was
hold
so
on.
confused.
There's actually an argument in that because hold on. If you have good credit and you already have if you have a savings of 20,000 or 60,000, bro, I would say good credit still because it's difficult to build good credit.
This is my
Do you know what I mean?
Like if they said 75k but you have bad credit, then I'll start, swaying towards that side. But then they're talking about straight cash. The point of having good credit is the ability to how much money you can loan.
you can
get
borrow,
me?
yeah.
So and you're eventually gonna have to pay that back, and in some cases with interest. So you're telling me you would rather take the ability to take out a big loan, which you are going to have to pay back with interest, as opposed to straight cash.
Yeah, because do you know what? If you want to open a business that's worth more than £75,000, how are you going to do it with just £75,000? If you need to take out a loan that's worth 500,000 or 700,000, you're going to need good credit.
Yeah, fair.
Very good credit.
Okay.
So when people say that, you need to take it into perspective.
Okay, but this is another thing.
Yeah.
Most you usually start off with good credit. Like if I probably start with good credit score, obviously depending on your situation, isn't it? Like,
Only weigh your assets and everything.
Yeah,
But I don't
you
know
don't
how
start
this
off. You don't start off. You start off with good credit.
but then let's say you just have okay credit. Like even like you said, let's say if somebody wants to open up a business of 500k or whatever, like good credit straight off the bat, it's like why would you take that risk straight? Because you can have good credit and screw it up for yourself.
I think that's speculation, but I think the whole good credit and cash thing depends on what you want to do.
Okay, that's also
that's
true.
right.
Depends on what you want to do.
Yeah.
But as for the dinner with Jay-Z,
No,
for
the dinner with
50M,
Jay-Z stuff is
That's
bro, I
dumb.
don't
It's
know.
dumb. Jay-Z will even tell you
To be
that.
honest,
Jay-Z says that you shouldn't have
I
done
think
this.
we can link this back to the topic because I think this is just people trying to sound smarter
That they
Yeah.
actually
than
are.
everyone else that they're smart.
That they need to
And
be.
because what 50M, bro, give me 5K and I'm taking that like
Jay-Z
50M.
can. Who wants to sit down with Jay-Z?
Even Jay-Z go insult you.
Maybe Jay-Z would like you should have taken the bread.
If they said 50M or Ifeanyi and you chose me, I would insult you there on the dinner so that you will know that your blood is not flowing correct common sense to your head.
I think it's just important for people
What
to
it
realize,
does.
that, man, just live your life and be yourself, man.
Be
Do you know what I mean?
yourself.
And live your life to the fullest without thinking too much of what people think of you. I know a lot of people say that on a regular, but people don't remember it a
Yeah.
lot. You
That's
know?
very important.
Yeah,
Not
man.
giving a shit.
Word.
You know what I do? I only care about the people who I respect.
Yeah.
Those are the people whose opinions I care about, and I don't just respect just anybody. Because
Yeah.
if you have the mindset of everyone's out to get me, also because like you can have some tendencies or some habits or something. Wait, let me put this as constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Now, if you have that mindset that everyone doesn't know what they're talking about, and it's just me don't care about what everyone thinks, you wouldn't be able to take constructive criticism.
Yeah, and you won't
Especially
progress
because of
yourself.
and you won't progress as a human being. So what I propose is pick people who you genuinely respect, and you can say, okay, whatever comes out of this guy's mouth, I am 95% sure that he knows what he's talking about.
And I'm glad you didn't say 100, by the way.
Those are the people whose opinion should matter to you, not just anybody. I don't know if I've articulated that properly.
I think human beings in general being the basis of not your moral compass, obviously, but being the basis of, I think any human being a role model in your life in general is a bit risky. because human beings switch up. As
And human beings
as this
disappoint,
especially in 2020 that we've
What?
seen
My
what's going on.
God.
You know, we've seen Naomi Campbell on that list and seen people that you would generally look up to. I think it's very risky to just put someone at, you know.
But to be fair, there's a difference between looking up to, let's say, Leo Messi, who you do not know personally, and looking up to your dad, who you've lived with for years. And yeah, you can also make the argument that you can never truly know someone.
Never.
There will always be something they're hiding for. I think it's a risk you have to be willing to take, because the other extreme is just everybody doesn't have sense. I'm the only one that knows what I'm talking about. True. And then if you do that, of course, like he said, you don't grow as a person.
Yeah.
So you just have to be careful, man. This life is give and take, man. It's just, yeah.
Things that you should have role models to an extent, but you shouldn't have, like, let's say, people you put on almost this godlike pedestal, like just stand culture, basically.
Yeah, just stand culture.
Like, oh my god. Like, people really be putting life at limit, everything, just to defend one person that doesn't even know that they use your name to name kids.
Yeah, I look at you, man. Like, there's some celebrities, I won't name them, who I looked up to that have disappointed me. Today, I don't.
You said one of his name is with me.
I don't look up to anybody who I don't know personally. And today, not just my mama and my papa. Everybody else, I just now wash. You know, it's just my mom and my dad. Right now, at least. You know.
Yeah, I just look up to Messi and Burna Boy. That's my own.
Yeah, I can't look up to people I don't know personally.
Just Messi and Burna Boy, JJ.
That's how people look up
so
to.
So not even your parents. Wait, that's it. So human rates is Messi.
No, I'm talking about people who don't know.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
No, I don't, because they can just come out and disappoint you. There's
it takes one thing.
Ego shot.
Until Burna Boy disappoints me, Sha.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like a good stance to have.
Yeah,
like,
that's a
trust
good
them
point.
until they disappoint.
Yeah, until they.
Yeah, just don't be hard-headed. As like, oh no, I love this person. This is people's mindset genuine. It's like, I love this person too much, even though I've never met them before. Surely they can't do something like that.
Yeah, and then
they can't do that because they make good music.
To be fair, yeah, there are two very particular people I remember who defended Kanye West after he said slavery was a choice. I wonder who those two people are.
Finish him.
But if they're watching this, then
I wonder who they are.
I wonder,
What do you mean by defended?
Like, you know, after...
I wonder who they are. That's
I wonder
crazy.
who they are, man. That's mad.
That's crazy.
People were clowning the man for saying something stupid, and they were trying to explain it away. And I remember telling those two people that, look, whatever you think might have happened or whatever you think he meant doesn't matter. What he said is what matters. The message people get from what he said is what matters over what he meant to say. And so if you know that you're not as, you know, you can't articulate your points, it's better to just keep quiet.
This is my thing though. Personally, I don't know these two people. Do you know them? Do you know the people?
I only know one of them.
You only know one?
Yeah, his name starts with O.
That's crazy. I know the other guy. His name actually also starts with O, you know.
Yeah,
Are you serious? You guys know them?
Yeah. Me know.
Alright. We'll discuss after.
But this is my thing. Someone like Kanye West in that situation, like, yeah, what he said came out of his mouth. I was angry when I heard that because I was like, how can you say something so stupid? Like, I was angry when he said that. But when he eventually explained himself, I was like, okay, you articulated yourself in the worst way ever, but I kind of get what you were trying to say. I just understand
what was you trying to say?
He was going off along the lines of Damn, I don't know how we exactly phrased it, not gonna lie.
Because it doesn't make sense.
Thank you. That's what I was about to say.
You know what? Fine, we'll get to it in the next episode.
No, we won't.
Okay, fair enough.
Will we really?
Do you want me to?
But I would like to say something.
Okay.
This man said that, why didn't people rise up? Why were they just slaves? That
was a stupid statement because he said we had the numbers, but
sounds like slavery was a choice, bro. First of all, people did rise up. Like, I don't want to get deep into this, but people did rise up and they were killed. True. Secondly, there was no Twitter for slaves back then where people could just hop on and say, yo, you want to revolt today? Let's, you know, it was hard to communicate, you know. But we've talked about all of this already, so my point is just that because someone makes good music, just because you like the way they play football, just because you like the way they sing, doesn't mean you should give them a pass or you should try and defend them when they do senseless things. I mean, if the average person did that, I don't think anyone would defend them except racists.
There was one time on the internet, I think they were trying to because I think Oprah was popular. I mean, she's always been popular, but at that time, a lot of people were really loving her. And someone was like, "Oh, they should make her president."
Of what?
And you know how there's also this agenda. This is also going to enter with women. How they want to make women be in big positions just because they're women.
Yeah.
Not because they're qualified to be in those positions.
You know, I understand representation and
Yeah.
everything, but that doesn't mean you should close your eyes to the individual and how capable they are, man. Like, make Oprah Winfrey president. Based off what?
What the fuck, man?
You know, even if you want to back a woman, okay, don't just back just any woman. You know,
Okay. I agree.
actually look at the because representation is important, especially as black people will understand that. But for example, who's the surgeon guy?
Ben Carson.
Ben Carson, yeah. You know what he was saying about black people and everything. It wasn't a good thing. You know, I wouldn't say exactly. I wouldn't say just because I want black representation, you go vote in the Kung or something. That's just going to be counterproductive, you know. Especially in Nigeria, where they're saying a woman will just go. I don't want to like get deep into this, but in Nigeria, people just see, oh, he's Igbo, I'm going to vote for him. He's Hausa, I'm going to vote for him.
And that's how most of our elections have been decided. That's how the last election was decided.
Now it's turning into vote for this woman. Whether or not she has the credentials, they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And it turns into like, it also like leaks into this belief that one gender is inherently pure while the other is inherently evil.
I think a lot of people think that women have a higher have higher
like
you know,
the more moral.
more moral than men. When history can
Do you
prove,
really feel that way?
Yeah, I feel like some people do think
some
that.
people do.
While history can can suggest that men are less moral, it's just because men have had more power, so they've had more leeway to actually abuse that power.
Okay.
You know, women haven't been in the same position as men, in history. If women were in that position, I feel like they'd have done.
Yeah, I mean, just look at slavery. White women were complicit.
Yeah.
So
see that. Yeah.
For example, you know.
So I mean,
Yeah.
it's just for everyone to live their lives and mind their business, like I say.
And remember, no one gives a fuck about you, so just do your thing.
Just do your
In the
thing.
grand scheme of things, nobody really gives a fuck about you, so just do your thing.
I mean, I'm still waiting for God to come down and explain to me, but who am I, compared to God? But I'm still waiting for God to come down and explain to me what we're even doing here in the first place. But that's a topic for another day.
That's the topic for
I mean,
another
the world is
day.
shit. You can't have good without bad, but you can have bad without good. So I prefer not to speak. If I speak, they will say I'm a madman.
Well, yeah, good chat though. I enjoyed today.
Yeah, man.
I enjoyed today.
Man.
I hope you guys, learned something. Well, if you disagree with us, I'm sure there are people who will disagree. Comment type your comments. We'll see whether it makes sense or if it doesn't make sense. And
You're so problematic, you know that.
it's not every comment that makes sense. No?
Yeah.
And maybe if it resonates with us, then we shout it out to the next episode or something.
Fair enough.
We'll address it. Because at the end of the day, like we said in episode 1, we're not here to say we have more sense than you or anything. We're here to learn.
Yeah.
We're here to start a discussion. And I think people always beat their chest so much. Oh, I must be right all the time. No, prove me wrong, man. Make me feel stupid if you can. But yeah. That's just it, man.
As always, thank you for coming through. I enjoyed today. Boys,
Yeah.
let's do
Peace.
one. We out.
Until next time.